Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the goddamn show. Now, I think in all my pasture doing this channel, the most in-demand video that I have is how I make YouTube videos and how to video edit your episodes so that they're better. This will be a longer video. Just a forewarning. I don't know how long, because obviously I am at the end of the recording yet. But in this video today, make sure you like, subscribe, show some appreciation. This is very time consuming. There's a lot of secrets in here that I'll reveal that you will not have even thought of. And we're basically going to cover everything that I use in my WWE 2K25 Universe Mode episode. So this is secrets that you will not know. Now, for the purpose and intents of this video, I'm going to use a really old episode that's already released on the YouTube channel, and we're just basically going to re-edit it. So for the purpose of the video, sorry, I'm just having a drink because obviously it's just a one-take video. I don't want anything missed out. For the purpose of this video, I forgot what I was going to say. I have just created a new project. That is all I've done. I've just named it WWE Video Editing Template, as you can see in the top there. So, how to make WWE 2K25 Universe Mode videos. Well, the first thing you want to do is in this little area here, you're going to want to right-click and click on Timelines. You need to create a new timeline. Now, this bit is so important, otherwise your video will just look like a slideshow. Under this tick here where it says Use Project Settings, untick this. Click Format. Now, I use 1920 by 1080p. And if we look here, the frame rate is selected as 24. We're going to want to change that to 60. You can obviously put this to whatever resolution you want. For the sake of this and for the sake of what I do, I'm going to create a new timeline. You'll know you've done this right if a timeline appears here. Then we've got to go grab assets. So what we're going to do is we're going to... do I have graphics for this? Let me have a look. So what date are we on? So I'm going to do the 25th episode of Monday Night Raw that I did. It should be out after the 25th. So key thing to note is I always keep... I'm going to move this onto the other monitor actually so you can't see. But I always keep a selection. I'll show you here. Like a selection. Like I have my locations. I have... episodic graphics. So this episode will be, I can't remember, but I'll figure it out which episode it is. I'm going to show you how I import the AI voices and everything. And I'm just going to write like a generic promo. It's going to be the full works, ladies and gentlemen. I believe I'll have all of the aspects in here. It's not going to be like a fully edited video. What it'll be is a load of segments of how I do the different aspects. So we'll start with how I do a show intro, including Michael Cole's introduction, which I think I still have. I think I might still have it somewhere. I'm going to move the folders over here. So when I'm beginning, the first thing that I do is I go to this app here. You can see at the bottom, 4K downloader. I can put a link to it in the description. I get the drone footage that I need, and I download it on here. So say if for example, I'm not really sure where this episode's from, but I'm going to move this over now. I'm going to pick a random area. So I'm going to pick Atlanta, Georgia, just because I know that I have Atlanta, Georgia footage. And here you'll see I have a load of location graphics already pre-made. I would highly recommend doing this. And then I'm in one of my video files. I don't want to reveal any spoilers or anything. That's why I'm like hiding it. So I have an Atlanta drone footage here. Obviously, remember to credit the person in the description. That is mightily important. So Raw 25th. Let's have a look at what happens. I just need to remember what happens. Obviously, I've already done a commentary over this, but I do it another way. So is this the one? Right. Okay. So this is the one that will already be out. Okay. So it's the one with LA Knight and Seth Rollins. And make sure you check out the universe mode. I know that you will probably be swamped by like other big creators. The whole reason I do the universe mode, as well as for entertainment, is so that you guys can have the opportunity to see everything that I use in action. So what I'm going to do now is I have created all of the assets for episodes 43, I believe this is, which is here. I dragged the folder in and I've got everything here. And in terms of moving match cards, I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to quickly look, and I might be silent for a second, if I still have the Michael Cole entry. But I will show you how to do that. So in this, have I got a goddamn tab open? Right, let me have a look. Chat GPT. Right, okay. I'm gonna bring it over. Don't worry. I'm just making sure that the right tabs are open. So we need fish audio. So here we go. So we're gonna start off. So we've got all the graphics in there. We've got our gameplay footage, which was the first thing I did. We've got drone footage. We've got this. Then what we need. Sorry, I forgot something. Is a Titantron loop to go behind the PNGs, which I download again using the 4K downloader. I'm gonna put. Do I have a nice WWE Raw one? Let me have a look. I think I do know where this would be. Picture, right. So if anything's off screen, all I'm doing is I'm trying to avoid spoilers for you guys. If you do watch a universe mode, it's just simply me looking for. So I've got an intro video, and we'll cover how to make one of them. And then let's have a look. Episodic graphics. Do I have the loops? It should be under the promo pieces production, theme songs, intros. It won't be under there. Episodic graphics. Even my folders don't feel completely organized. I don't even know where I've saved them, but I do know where I've got one. And for the sake of this particular video, I'm going to use a different RAW. So I've used like a classic RAW, and I'll show you how I make them anyway. So first and foremost, you want to go. I use the paid version. So as you can see here, plus, so I can use it for commercial use. What's important when using AI is to make sure that the voices are not direct replicants, but they are cloned. So you go to Discovery here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to find a WWE commentator. So if I type in commentator, Michael Cole is here. You can preview it.
Ladies and gentlemen, what...
Oh, let me turn that down, actually. Let me preview it by pressing play.
What we're witnessing tonight is absolutely unbelievable. After 15 years...
Jesus, he's loud. So what we're going to do is we're going to just literally use this sample. That's what we're going to do. So you click use voice here. We're going to just literally use this. I might need to turn it down. I don't know how loud it's going to be. Click generate.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're witnessing...
When you click generate, you have to wait for download to finish. I'll download this right now. I don't know if it's downloaded. I'll have a look. And then it will be in your downloads file. You just literally drag it in. So I've got Michael Cole there. As for promos, it's the same premise. I'll show you. I don't think I have any footage of Michael Cole. So essentially, we are starting the video right here. So we've got all the assets that I feel like I need, which is good. So we're going to start off with the first segment, which is the introduction to the show. So my introduction to the show is dictated by the length of this audio clip right here. So the first thing you want to do when importing from Fish Audio, very important, is go to right-click Clip Attributes and ensure that the audio is a stereo, not a mono. And then you have to make sure that there is a left and a right ear. So we've got that. I'm going to just turn it down for the sake of the video, but we've got Michael Cole introduction here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there you can hear it.
is absolutely unbelievable.
So after that, what I'll do is I'll drag the drone footage from Atlanta on. I'll right-click and I'll delete the audio that's behind it. Then what I'll do is I'll clip it down and I'll put it on the video layer 1. So we'll get rid of that introduction. So I'll put it on video layer 1. And then I'll come and I'll cut so it matches Michael Cole's voice. What you can do then is click on it and zoom it in I'll do whatever, move it around, rotate it. I might rotate it a bit so it looks a bit cool, like that. That's something you can do. Now, using a PNG file that I've already made, what I will do is I'll put this on, and again, all I do is match this here. So this is what I'm going to have. But now you might be saying yours looks so much better than that. Well, I use a couple of effects, and in DaVinci Resolve, what you can do is you can favorite effects. What I use is the fast noise. I click on that, and then when it's applied, I click mist. So what mist does, if you look in, I need to shut that up. You can see it like sort of flares and moves. Then what I do is using transitions. You can choose whatever you want. I use block glitch. I put one at the start and one at the end, right there, like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're witnessing
there you go. Once I've done that, what I also do, I like to do to keep the realism, is add like what's called a pop-up or a lower third. Now, I believe I do have lower thirds, and I'm just, for the sake of this video, going to literally put a random pop-up up that I've already made. So I'm going to go, let's have a look, pop-up there. So this is a Saturday Night's Main Event pop-up. Literally, all you have to do is with the pop-up, if you want it to just show up while Michael Cole's talking about it, just cut it down to like a smaller length. Whenever he mentions it, just line it up with wherever it is. I do the exact same thing again. So I add first a fast noise. It might go grey. That's how you know you've done it. I add a mist. I'm going to add a block glitch to introduce it. I'm going to add a block glitch to get rid of it. You can use different transitions, so you can use slides and things like this, but I'm just going to show you. I might just, I don't know whether to temporarily delete Michael Cole, but let's have a look.
The tribal chief has turned his back on everything.
There you go. So that's how I introduce that. That is an introduction. And then obviously I will prompt Michael Cole to go on to talk about the matches. And when I'm doing the matches, what's important is I always have the Titantron logo that I downloaded on the bottom layer. And again, there is a hilariously loud clip attached to that. So I'm going to delete that. So we're going to just keep the Titantron loop here. And then imagine Michael Cole's talking about it, or you can talk about it. I'm not saying use AI. I'm going to, going forward, after a Saturday Night's Main Event, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to do it all myself apart from promos. But here you can see we've got a Titantron loop. And this is just simply a video I've downloaded from YouTube. Obviously, again, credit the creator. And then what I've done in Affinity or Photoshop is I've made a load of PNGs. So all I literally need to do is, I don't like that one. Let me just get like one where there's two people. So all I do is I drag the PNG on top. And because it's a PNG and there's a blank background, you can see in the background that it's moving. And that's how you make a moving match card as well. Now, of course, again, I use this exact same recipe, fast noise on this with mist, and then I might just do a different, so slide right, I'm going to do to interrupt it, to introduce it, slide left, so it'll look something like this. And that's how I basically create moving match cards, folks, and the introduction. As for the video, now, this is specific to DaVinci Resolve, where I line it up with all the match cards that I've put in. Obviously, I stack match cards, and I just copy and paste this across. When I'm going to have a breakup, I have made a load of transitions, and I've just got these from in-game, and I've added a sound effect over the top. So I'm just going to add a transition in for Monday Night Raw, which I feel will massively enhance it. Where are my transitions? Here. So we need a Monday Night Raw transition. So I've made this just literally in-game. If you look what it is, all it is this. And having that separate to actually using the in-game one is very, very useful because you can control the transitions. Usually, what I'd do is I'd put the intro video straight away after. What you can do is go into a transition and then go into an intro video. And you can add an effect just transitioning it. Hold on, I need to zoom in. Just transitioning into the intro video like this. Oh, wait, why is it not working? Let me have a look. There should be a reason. I don't know why that ain't working. Should work. Anyway, normally works. So what I'll usually do is I'll move this here. I'll move this here. I would put a block glitch, leaving that. I mean, obviously it's not going to do it, but I don't know why. Then I'll have the the video intro, and this is what I call my opening segment. It's pretty standard. I always keep the same method. Then what I do is on these particular episodes, so I import my gameplay. I've already done the commentary, but let's imagine that I haven't done the commentary. Now, a new way that I'm going to try to do this is to commentate after. But it's so much easier because I can just cut down. Oh wait, I need to link them back. I just cut. Oh, why is it not linked? Let me just sort that. Link clips, right? Okay, they should be linked again. Nope, they're not. Don't know why. It's been a bit temperamental today. Right now it's linked, but you can obviously see where I need to cut based off where I've spoke. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And then obviously after this, I'm going to add another raw transition, which can just go there, and then I'm going to go into the first segment, which I need to turn it down because you guys can't hear, but once the intro video finishes, I'll let you see. Welcome to Jesus Christ. So that's how I introduced the episode. I literally cut things down, and the beautiful thing about this first bit is it's a segment. So you can see I've got a lot of like just raw footage trying to get the people in place until I go to the highlight reel. Then what I do when I'm creating a promo is I look for the moment where the highlight reel begins, which would be here, and then I just follow it through and I see where it ends, which is roughly there. Then I'll import a promo. So imagine I've been to Fish Audio. I've got a promo. I know it's Michael Cole and it's not Jey Uso, but for the purposes of this video, it's just important. What you can do is if the promo goes longer than the highlight reel, you can just copy and paste the highlight reel and have it on a loop.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're witnessing
there you go.
Is absolutely unbelievable.
You can also play around. So, like for example, this looks a bit out of place. So what I would do is I'd move it so it's like this. So that's how I do my segments. I don't think I've got any specific segments booked on this show, but it gives you an idea on how to make segments. So we've covered segments. If you've got any attack things as well, you can go ahead and do that. I was going to talk about commentating post. So obviously, if you commentate post, you do all what I said initially. You import your gameplay, which would be... It's so loud. I'm sorry. Which would be... I've completely lost it. Where has it just disappeared? The thing is, I always lose where I am. Raw 25. I don't know where the hell the rest of it is. Oh, right, I've got it. So imagine you haven't got commentary. So obviously you'd have this green bar, but it just wouldn't have the voice waves like mine has. If you wanted to do commentary, what you can do is just cut using this cut tool, cut any bits you want. Then what you need to do is go into the music tab here, the little Fairlight tab. You need to create a new audio track. So add track, and it has to be mono. Then what you can do is you can double click and you can rename this commentary. You go to Fairlight up here. Patch input output. You want to find your microphone. So in mine's the blue snowball in this video. Commentary. Patch. And then it's obviously set. You have to press amp for recording. And you'll know it's right when you can hear yourself like that. And then once you've amped... Imagine I've pressed the red on. What you do is you click this little record icon here. You choose the track, so we're going to want to do it in commentary. You can enable a 3-second countdown to give yourself like a little bit of time. And then once you've cut everything, all the matches and everything, you just literally go, drag to the start, drag this orange line to the start, click on this button. It will give you a 3-second countdown like so. And you'll be able, and if you can see here, it's just recording commentary. So it's got it. 3-second countdown like so. So that's another way that you can obviously do commentary. What I like to do to make my universe mode more realistic is make a bunch of trailers to break it up. So sometimes if I've had a match, say this segment's the match, I've had a full match, what I like to do is I like to create a load of background, and I will cover this in the next episode when we cover show intros. I like to create some universe mode trailers. So I think I've got one to hand. So we're going to use this Mr. Iguana promo that I made. I'm going to have to turn the audio down. So what I do is, like, get rid of this. So say I've just had a match. Say this is a match. It's just finished. What I'd do is I'd get the raw transition again, just to break it up. And that will do this. And then after your match, you've got a trailer. You put your next match. You put another transition in. Sorry. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, I know. And then you go to your next match, if that makes sense. What you can also do is you can copy and paste this segment here. So you can copy and paste this, and what WWE does sometimes, instead of doing a trailer like so, you can go back to the drone view. So you've had a match. This is the finish of the match, imagine. And then you can talk. Oh my God, we're coming to you from State Farm. Atlanta, Georgia, sold out tonight. Blah 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 blah. We're using the recording setting that I obviously mentioned. You can also use match cards to pop up as well. So, like, say for example, if you're wanting to announce a match next week, you can delete this. I'm just gonna wait. I've not copied it, have I? Control C, Control V. Right. Say if you're wanting to announce a match next week. Just imagine, for the sake of this video, this says next week. You finish your segment. You go, oh my God, Jey Uso is the greatest of all time. And next week, folks, we're going to look towards Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Obviously, you do that with the commentary over the top. And that's what I do, basically. I don't really think there's much more that I could show you to do. Obviously, we'll cover things like green screens and creating show intros and trailers that you can put into your shows. In the next episode, I'm going to really heavily focus on that. But the last thing I want to mention is obviously export settings. Now, everybody that uses DaVinci Resolve, say if I want to export this, there is a little rocket icon here in the bottom right. I'm just going to make sure I'm still recording. If you click that there, you get what this screen should appear like this. Obviously, you can find, by clicking browse, you can pick a location where you save the videos where it's exported to. Video editing template is going to be my my name, for example. I always use the YouTube preset. And one thing to make sure that you untick, unless you want to directly upload it to YouTube, have it on your computer, is untick this. And then, obviously, everything seems fine. What I actually do nowadays is I go to 1440p and I change the video codec to H.265 and then tick it off. Add to render queue. Let's just put it in there. Add to render queue. So it's going to upscale it. And then you click render all. I'm not going to render all for the sake and purpose of this video. But that has been a crash course on how I make my YouTube videos, guys. I hope that you could find something helpful in here. I hope that even if you don't... I would highly recommend you don't copy me one-to-one. Like, I would really appreciate it if you didn't copy everything that I did in terms of one-to-one. That's just on a personal level. I encourage you to get creative and be innovative yourself. Try and separate yourself from everybody else. Hopefully with these tips you can do that. Remember, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. It's a really great place to be. Always be unique. Always do your own thing. Use what I have shown you in this video to create your own unique introductions. There is multiple things you can do, like going into the highlight reel as a drone, highlighting the crowd to introduce the show. There's a lot of shows that I see using the drone footage that me and other creators use. Just try and think of unique ways that you can introduce your show as well. Of course, I'm looking towards changing mine from the location graphics to from the actual arenas to being creative and making some drone shots of the crowd and stuff. I'm intending to do that in the very, very near future. Probably after Saturday night's main event, you're going to see a whole new structure of this WWE 2K25 universe mode in terms of the introduction. But guys, if this video helped you, leave a like. If it didn't, leave a dislike, but tell me why it didn't help you in the comments. Of course, I'll leave a link to DaVinci Resolve and all the tools like the 4K downloader in the description. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.